revenue we've doubled in the last year. People also we've almost doubled 1.8 times being. So those numbers have been there, but I think beyond that, I think the growth has also been in terms of being able to better handle any kind of challenges that come our way.
Yes, it has, although it's just 6 weeks, it has been quite a ride. I was kind of stuck. We doubled the prices to get started with. And we had this role play, like how I would present this to my clients. And I thought that they would say that there's no way, you can't make this. Like I thought they were going to refuse and becoming some kind of resistance. They didn't. And you helped me to really feel the position of the client when they talk to me, but also how I can improve my role and take more leaderships in that. This is so big. It's like, to me, this is like dream material. These are the things I dreamt about when I was a little girl, to publish a book and to go to a bookshop and find my book there.
I'm a former volleyball player, represented the Indian team for 10 years. I was the captain of the Indian team. Earlier, I had a lot of apprehensions. I've been coming from a very small town and restricting myself in every thought process in anything where I ask or where I present myself. But now, recently we conducted the Super League of BBL Season 5, where the president of the World Volleyball came. So we mobilized the entire town of Tejpur to contribute. And this happened exactly the way we wanted. And Sumit made me to believe that I have to go the extra mile. If today, like around 10,000 children are being benefited, if I going the extra mile can benefit like 1 lakh children, so why not?
I have never felt this powerful and driven before. I couldn't have even imagined to be in this current situation last year. I couldn't have even asked. So what this year, so I think 2024 was one of the biggest years for me. In fact, Sumit, like, I think, who could have imagined like this time last, like you were taking a bet on me, and now you are working with all the founding team of the startup. Like you're working with all of them now. Even if I would have had to say that, okay, I will achieve all of this thing, I would have probably given it 3 years time. It just happened in a year.
Yeah. Parth and Ashwin, founders of Takery, came to me when they were stuck in their revenue for the last few years. 1 and 2 years later, they had doubled and tripled their revenue. Jennifer took just 6 weeks to achieve her revenue numbers, which she started with me with the aim of achieving in 1 year. And Sid achieved in 1 year what, in his own words, he would have given himself 3 years to achieve. Now, what happened with all of them? There is no secret. It's 2 very simple, though not easy things. 1, both of them took unreasonable and immediate action, which they were not taking earlier. And 2, they got out of their own way. They worked on themselves first before working on their business, which led to these business results, doubling, tripling of revenues, customer satisfaction scores, but also a sense and an ability to relax, to have fun, and to spend more time with those who matters the most for these people in their own lives. So if you're watching this, I know 3 things about you. 1, you have built something truly significant, but currently you are stuck. Number 2, you know that you're capable of more, but you keep hitting these invisible walls. And number 3, you don't need more information. You need to see what is right in front of you, both in terms of what is blocking you from moving forward, the invisible walls, but also the opportunities which are right in front of you, but you don't see. And here is the brutal truth. You are unconsciously sabotaging yourself. Well, we all do that. After all, 95% of human behavior is subconscious and habitual. You think that you are making progress, but you're actually running in circles and you're trapped in a vicious cycle. You don't have a strategy problem, you have a you problem. If you don't break out of this cycle, you will be in the same place next year. You don't want that. So if you're ready to confront the questions that you have been avoiding, then you have come to the right place. But like very honestly, if you can't take an honest look at yourself and can't see your own role in your lack of results, and without any blame or guilt, then I can't help you. If you can't look at yourself objectively and ask, how am I coming in the way? What is my contribution to this lack of results or momentum? Then I can't be of help. You can turn this video off right now. And again, look, right, I am in the business of giving, not in the business of taking. Anything you do with me, you win. That's my commitment to you, and from which I will speak anything that I share with you. And I do not do this for money. The work that I do today, I don't do this for money. I do this for you.
I used to feel a little underpowered or less powerful, less confident, and not really committed to what as a vision we are trying to achieve, right? So when I say committed, it is like, okay, I wish this happens and hopefully this happens were the words that I used to use before. Now I think it is, and I've told you this again in multiple calls, that nobody can take away the feeling that I feel powerful.
What I realize is that if in case I'm asking, am I committed towards something, that means I'm not committed. So that essentially brought in a safe change. And probably what I could have done in about 2 months, I was able to do it in 2 days. Second key thing is, how do you look at achieving bigger things? So one exercise that we did, where I said, hey, what do you want to do in the next 9 months? How can we do that in 9 weeks? And hey, is there an opportunity to do that in 9 days? That was like mind-blowing. That changed the whole perspective of time.
You start seeing it with the small examples. Like, for example, as I just mentioned about your rate. If you ask for certain rates and then you double the rates and you don't see any objections from people and any not even questions, you say, okay, this is actually, they do it, and it proves that you can do anything, basically. You start to see that actually, if you set up a certain goal, for example, I want to speak at TED Talks, right? And that was absolutely like 1 year ago or 2 years ago. It was like, oh my God, I'm never going to do this. And I filled an application a week ago. So it doesn't look not feasible anymore. It doesn't look impossible anymore. So when you, and even like, for example, I had the goal for a couple of years to reach, to influence 25,000 women and onboard them into emerging tech. But right now I look at this 25,000, and it was 10 actually. Actually, it was 10 even when we had the first conversation. Now it's 25. And I'm looking at this 25,000 number. I'm thinking, no, it's actually not a lot. Maybe it needs to be 100,000. Maybe it's actually not that much, So you start, because everything is relative, and I think the bigger you get inside, the more impressive your influence can be.
I see business as the best way to change the world. Business as the best way to make a sustainable difference in the world. And what drives me crazy is seeing leaders, seeing entrepreneurs struggle but not making progress, grinding, being busy but not making progress. Be it business growth or touching the lives of your customers, of your employees, that is not acceptable to me. And yet there is so much of sacrifice that we make, both in terms of our time, in terms of our finances, in terms of our emotional journey. And leaders and entrepreneurs, for me, are the vehicle of change which will impact the next many generations. To see them suffer, and I have suffered myself, is unacceptable to me. That is crazy to me. And it is time to fix that. That's the reason that I do what I do today. Very few people actually understand that they are the source of all of their results, including those results which we don't call normally as results, but we call them as challenges or problems or obstacles or a lack of a result. And investing in yourself is the best investment you can make anytime. See, the math is simple. So imagine if you do not sign a new client, or you lose one client in the next 6 months, that's probably $500,000 or a couple of million to you, right? You missed that revenue if you lose one single client. Now, if you continue operating like you have been operating, nothing wrong with that, but your blind spots, you cannot see beyond them. So you waste, if you spend another year, then you waste a huge opportunity. And even more importantly, when you do not grow, when your growth stalls, the best people in your team gets demotivated and they leave, which then again impacts tens of millions of lost revenue for you in the next few years. The worst thing is if you wait until you think you have fixed all the challenges and you do not take those big shots which could be right in front of you, if you don't act immediately, then somebody else, right? The world is not waiting for you. Somebody else ends up dominating the market. And you also miss hundreds of millions in future revenue, in future valuation, in future impact that is yours to make. You will walk away with tremendous clarity. You will break your patterns. You will not spend time overthinking. You will just execute. And imagine an additional 10 to 20% in your business will produce millions for you in the bank for the next year. As a result, you will also save 20% to 50% of your time in your calendar. Imagine whatever business you are able to do today, you can do the same business while spending 20 to 50% less time. Now you can calculate, you can do the math yourself. Is that in hundreds of thousands or is that in millions of euros for you? Most importantly, when you take the right action, your results multiply, you build momentum, right? The energy shifts. And this does not change just the numbers, but it allows you to relax. It allows you to know that you're on the right path. And you can actually spend time with those who matters most to you, right? Be it your family, be it your friends, or something else in your life. Now, at the same time, I have to be very honest, right? This is not school. This is not going to be like a class. This is going to be real life, as brutal and as honest as it gets. Just like life works based on first principles, this is my promise. And I am not here to do the work for you, right? The work is up to you. I can only help you see how you are coming in the way. I can only help you see some big, bold actions, but you have to do the work. And until you change, nothing will. If you keep on doing the same things, the results will also be the same. If you keep on doing similar things, the results will also be similar. This is not for those who are not willing to take action, who are not willing to speak up, who are not willing to share honestly. This is not for those who also are happy with the status quo. This is for those who are willing to be challenged. This is for those who are willing to do what is uncomfortable. And this is for high performers who are done playing small, who are done waiting for something in the future to unlock momentum now. And if that is not you, then that's perfectly fine. No offense, you can turn this video off right now. But if that is you and you know that you're meant for more, then keep watching. The most important thing is I cannot do this work for you. If I go to the gym, you will not build muscle. So this work is like that. Be ready to be challenged and put in the effort. I promise that the results on the other side are worth it. I promise that the results on the other side are those that you have been waiting for, but only if you are committed and ready to take immediate action. If you are skeptical, that is totally fine. You can keep benefiting from what I post on LinkedIn, from what I post on YouTube, and come back to me when you are ready, right? When you're ready to jump in fully, that's totally okay. And again, the only thing I need is your full commitment to show up fully, to participate, be interactive, to be willing to be challenged, and then to take action in your life. This is my gift to you. In fact, this is the best opportunity that I want to offer you to make the difference in the world that is yours to make. And my promise to you is that if you promise to show up fully, if you promise to participate fully, ask questions, share openly, and then take action, then you would have generated what you have been waiting for months. And one of my coaches once said that those who act now get a huge unfair advantage over those who hesitate. So my invitation to you is to act now and get to a place where you get that advantage. And either way, I'm going to continue being the secret weapon for high-level entrepreneurs and CEOs. The only question is, are you going to be who profits from having that unfair advantage?